Welcome to DePIN Under 5, where we cover the latest DePIN news in under 5 minutes. I'm your host, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐤𝐿𝐥𝐚𝐢𝐸. This week's news, we're going to be covering the 15th of December through the 31st of December. So top of the news here, WeatherXM continues to prep for their TGE, their token generation event. They got some app updates that came out this week. Pretty cool to see their team working through the holidays. Even if some of them are off, a lot of them are still in there cranking away. They've got an updated support ticket system. So if you do have a problem with them, pretty easy to get a hold of them. They did have a helium outage this week for their helium station. So that went down, but they sorted that out with their provider and everything looks pretty good now. Over in Helium Land, speaking to them, they have also been working on the H&T wallet update. So pretty cool to see they are also updating their app. Their CEO, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐿𝐥𝐚𝐢𝐸, did an interview with NASDAQ this week that published. That was pretty cool to see, getting some kind of public notice, not just in the crypto space. And then over in Helium Mobile Land, data continues to rise. Looks like last I saw was 4 terabytes per day of data flowing through the mobile Wi-Fi hotspots, indoor and outdoor. So super good just to see the real world use case of DePIN. In Wi-Fi Dabal Land, which is a project out of India, 40% of their network has been upgraded in the last couple of weeks. They're averaging 2 to 3 buildings per day. So they are cranking through adding these Wi-Fi hotspots to buildings. They also have an upcoming TGE, so they've submitted their tokenomics to their board. Looks like they'll hear something back in the first couple weeks of January, moving along swimmingly there. So looking pretty good. They've updated their website. Check them out at daba.com. Over in Atourland, they are a newer project on the DePIN scene. They're a decentralized privacy protocol. They're aiming to be the anonymity layer for DePIN. So cool to see how we're thinking about all this information we're generating is making sure it's anonymous if you don't want to be known. And the big news over in Atour was that they did a mint of 1,000 NFTs. So if you bought an NFT, you can buy the hardware. Their mint sold out in 31 minutes or minted out in 31 minutes. That's just good to see. Those mints were fun when we used to do them a couple of years ago and the NFT craze is going on. It's good to see that coming back a little bit. And 1,000 pieces of hardware in 31 minutes. That's pretty cool to see. It's a good sign for the market in general. In IoTech's news, they've teamed up with another project, Streamer, integrating with Deepin Scan, which is a DePIN project monitor. So if you want to see all these projects at once, check out Deepin Scan. That's a cool thing that IoTech is doing. Hivemapper has announced that they have mapped 100 million total road kilometers in 90 countries. So cranking, another great use of real world stuff with DePIN. They've asked in their Discord for people to decrease the code promo shilling. Obviously, they want everybody to use just DePIN State, which is our promo code. So DePIN STATE. That's the only promo code you should use. That's a joke. You can use anyone you want, but if you use ours, it supports the show. These are the last days to get 2,500 free honey when you buy a camera. So that goes through the end of the year. If you miss it, you're going to miss out on that 2,500 honey tokens. And they recently did an interview over on Deepin Hub, which is Hotspotty's podcast. They did that with their head of operations, I think, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐥𝐚𝐢𝐸. So pretty cool to see them coming out with news pretty consistently. In Demo Land, they've got 1,000 macarons connected to the network. So again, we're great to see all this hardware coming online, coming on the pipe. They were featured in CB Insights, pretty cool article on them. And in Wingbits, which is an ADSB project, another newer project. Those guys are off for the holidays, but they asked to have you submit your questions for an upcoming AMA. So as with any new project, you should have a ton of questions. Jump on over to their Discord if you have any questions about them. Read through what they've got so far. If you don't see your question, make sure you put it in there so we get it answered and see what's going on in that project. It's pretty cool. I've got a couple of their antennas up on my roofs. It's been a really fun project. Brought back a lot of good helium memories. Last but not least is Silencio, and they wanted to make sure that you knew that the reward halving goes live January 15th. So if you are mapping, the noise coins, make sure you map as many as you can before January 15th when that stuff cuts in half. That's all we've got for DePIN Under 5. Have a ripping new year. Be safe, and we'll see you next year. Rock and roll.